what is GDP and why should I be bothered about it? It is one of the most important measures on how a country's economy is doing. It is a measure of the country's economy. It tells you how a country is doing. Is it doing well? Is it doing badly? Is the government performing well? Are the people in the country well off? So it's very important for us to understand what GDP is. It helps investors to invest into stock markets, into economies which have a higher GDP. So what does it stand for? It stands for gross domestic product, right? GDP stands for gross domestic product. What does it mean? It means the sum value of all the goods and services manufactured within a country, within a specific year. So it is basically a sum of everything which a country produces, right? So it can be cars, toys, gifts, rockets. It can be from a needle to tractors. And in services, it includes restaurants, doctor, barber, all the services which are made in the country and all the goods which are made in the country all come within GDP, right? And it is very important in GDP to look at that everything has happened in one specific year and there is a transaction involved. So you cannot have GDP where, say, a mother is taking care of her kids, but because there's no money involvement over there and you cannot measure that. But if you have a maid working in your house or a servant working in your house doing your dishes and you're paying her, or a babysitter and you're paying her, then that gets counted in GDP. So you need to have a monetary transaction either in form of cash or in form of credit. The another limitation is that all the goods which are manufactured have to be within the physical boundary of the specific country. So you cannot have, if a good is manufactured abroad and you buy it, that will not be counted in your GDP. Now there's a mathematical formula for it. There are different ways to calculate it. You can do it the income approach, and income approach, it means basically adding up the income of all the people in a specific country for a given year, and you'll come to what the GDP is. And the second method, which is more of a common approach used, is the expenditure method, which means adding public and private consumption, the public and private investment, government spendings, and the net imports, right? So by public and personal consumption, I mean whatever the public consumes, be it tea, coffee, samosa, you're eating, everything, whatever the consumption is done anywhere in the world. And in most of the economies, consumption forms a major chunk, especially in developed economies, it forms a major chunk of the GDP. So more you spend, the higher the GDP actually goes, right? So if you go out to a restaurant and you eat food and you pay for it, you're actually helping your country by increasing its GDP. Second is, what do you mean by investments? Investments is, when a country's GDP falls and the economic climate is not very good, companies actually, rather investing money for future growth and meeting future demand, stop future investments into the industries and in product development. So that money is just kept idle and that doesn't get counted in GDP, in fact. Third component is government spending, right? So government does infrastructure projects, it makes, airports, trains, metros, etc. All this gets covered in government spendings. So the government increases and decreases its spending based on what the GDP is doing. So if it wants to increase the GDP, government starts doing more infrastructure projects. Like in India, we have this, government does more infrastructure projects, makes more roads, and that in turn helps the public make more factories, there's more development and more consumption of products, right? The fourth point, a crucial point, is exports minus imports. That is, it is exports minus imports, and depending what the exports of a country are deducted from your imports, you'll come to the net exports. India is a net importer, so we actually have more imports than what we export. So this is the definition which is for GDP, and the GDP does come with its limitations, right? So it is not that you can look at GDP in isolation, right? So if say a country like UK has a GDP of around 2.7 trillion and India also has a GDP close to 2.7 trillion, does that mean that people in India are as well off as people in UK, right? So what becomes important is because we have such a huge population, per capita income becomes more important. So people are well off and are better off in their lives if the per capita income of the country increases. So you cannot compare countries with with different per capita and say even though my GDP is higher than your country's GDP, we people are that's why people are well off in our country. So per capita income becomes important there. There are some other factors also which are important when you're calculating GDP. Is like some people say that are people in this country happy, right? Countries which do not have democracy or do not have freedom of speech and people do not enjoy the freedom, they do not actually they are not happier in those countries. So freedom and democracy is also an important part of it's important to make people happy, and happiness parameter cannot be measured by GDP. So these are some limitations which are in GDP, and I hope this explains to you what GDP is. And if you like our video, please hit the like button and smash the bell, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more definitions and give you a better understanding of finance. Thank you.